You are watching the ACC on ESPN. From downtown Atlanta, Georgia, about 30 minutes after we were supposed to get things started, we are ready for some football. Georgia Tech hosting Gardner-Webb in week 2 of the college football season from Bobby Dodd Stadium. And with that, we get to say hello. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Justin Kutcher alongside Forrest Connolly. And Forrest, it might be week 2 of the college football season, but already some big news today out of the Georgia Tech camp. Last week, they came from behind after 3 turnovers at Colorado in one, in large part because of the performance by Haynes King. Well, we just found out that Haynes King is out today with a nagging lower body injury. So in his place will be the redshirt freshman Aaron Philo starting.
And for Gardner-Webb, it doesn't change anything as far as game planning. Defensive deception is what the plan was coming into this game, and now you've got a young quarterback. So I feel a lot better if I'm Gardner-Webb, who I have to face as opposed to Haynes King with all the reps that he has. You've got a young guy. Now you have to use that deception to your advantage.
That's impressive to hear because last week it was also impressive. Gardner-Webb, they trailed on the road 35-7. Nate Hampton said, I got you guys. I'm going to score twice in the first half. Once start off the second half, we're going to win this game. They did.
You do not want to fall behind 35-7 to this defense. As much of a monster as Nate Hampton is at 6'6", 240 pounds, you do not want to give this Georgia Tech defense the opportunity to get after him like they gave Western Carolina last week. Nate Hampton is a dynamic player at the quarterback position. We saw what he's able to do to carry the football, but you want to keep this game close. You want to hang around. You want to stay around. You cannot fall behind that far.
Chris Reisert, he was questioning himself. He thought he had a really good team this year, and they fall behind 35-7. He's like, did I misjudge this? He didn't misjudge it. His team was able to battle back and get the victory. And Brent Key, the job that he has done at his alma mater, just phenomenal. You think about him taking over as the interim head coach, named the head coach, and has led this team to back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since 2013, 2014. And this team, they are out here to play. They play hard, and I can't wait to watch them.
Well, this team reflects the personality of Brent Key. You know, Brent Key is a disciple of George O'Leary, a disciple of Nick Saban. So when you think about those two coaches, you think about discipline, you think about physicality, you think about just the joy of contact football. And that's what you see when you watch this Georgia Tech football team. The joy in hitting people. They enjoy hitting people. So I expect an excellent football game this afternoon.
Guys, I'm worried. I mean, Forrest is getting fired up right now, and he might hit me. One meeting between these schools happened back in October of 2008. It was a close one. Georgia Tech won it by 3. It was a blocked field goal attempt at the end that allowed the Yellow Jackets to escape the victory. Georgia Tech won the toss. They have deferred, so Gardner-Webb will receive the opening kick. The fans got here early. They had to leave the stands because of dangerous weather in the area. They were allowed back in, so we are delayed just about 30 minutes for the kickoff. The home opener, as Georgia Tech went on the road last week to Boulder, Colorado, and got that 27-20 victory. Quayshawn Holmes, Caleb Borders are back deep for Gardner-Webb. It'll be Aiden Burr to kick off. High hopes for this Yellow Jacket team. And we are off. Anthony Lowe in the end zone. He's going to run it out from about 5 yards deep. Escapes a tackle, but now tackled at the 10. A surprising decision by Anthony Lowe as he gets tackled by A.J. Hoffler. And now this Gardner-Webb team, the Runnin' Bulldogs, will take the field behind their leader in Nate Hampton.
28 carries last week for 130 yards. If you're the Georgia Tech defense, what you want to do is you want to make him beat you from the pocket. Keep contained. He makes plays on broken plays, getting outside of the pocket.
Quayshawn Holmes in the backfield to open up the ball game. On first down, it is Holmes up the middle, nowhere to go, tackled at the line of scrimmage. Jordan Vandenberg, number 99, he is the player to watch. No matter which side of the ball you talk to the coaches, they mention his name.
Well, he's a disruptive force in the middle of that defense. He gets pressure up the field. He occupies two offensive linemen the majority of the time when he's in the ball game.
On 2nd and 10. Handoff again to Holmes, trying to bounce it outside. And again, he's going to be able to fall forward. He'll get 4, 3rd and 6 upcoming.
One of the things about this defense is they get up the field, they swarm, and they have good pursuit from the backside defense. That's what you have to do. You have to get up the field offensively if you're Gardner-Webb. You cannot hesitate. You've got to get north and south, and you've got to go because they're coming from all angles.
3rd and 6. Hampton trying to escape, and he will not pick up the first down. It'll be a 3 and out forced by this Georgia Tech defense.
And you see initial pressure from the right side of that offensive line. A good job with the back chipping to give Hampton a little bit more time. Hampton tried to get up the field, something he did very successfully last week against Western Carolina. But you see the swarming defense. You see how they're able to close in on Hampton where he thought he could have squeezed and got enough of a seam to get the first down. Against this Georgia Tech defense, he's not able to do like he did last week.
Brady Braun on to punt. Eric Rivers fields it at the 33. And he'll get back to the 42-yard line, a 9-yard return after a 55-yard punt. All right, so here we go. We're going to see the redshirt freshman, Aaron Philo, number 12, jump in that huddle, command the huddle. We've heard about this kid. He appeared in some games last year. He is, as his coach Brent Key said, special.
And one of the big challenges for Philo is the defensive backs for Gardner-Webb play press man, so there won't be a lot of opportunities for quick passing. He has to have time.
Philo taking the shot, first play of the game for him, and he's incomplete, looking for Eric Rivers.
And Philo had what he wanted on that play, but Darius Johnson, number 12, they brought a corner blitz, something you do early against a young quarterback, and Philo did not read that. He had to get rid of the football, I think, a little bit earlier than he wanted to. I think if he steps up in the pocket right when that defensive back gets there, he has a little bit more time to put more air under the football. 2nd
down and 10. Jamal Haynes. Philo in some trouble, fumbles, loose ball, still loose, and it looks like Gardner-Webb has recovered. Unbelievable. You think about the start last week for Georgia Tech. Turnovers on their first 3 possessions. Now a turnover here as Saban McLaughlin able to recover.
And that was immediate pressure by the Gardner-Webb defenders, something I expect them to do throughout the game. You see they brought the linebackers, all 3 linebackers came up through those A-gaps, and they covered every gap, did not allow Philo to go anywhere with the football. He had immediate pressure and immediate contact once he got possession of the football. That is what you're going to see throughout this afternoon. As I said when the game started, defensive deception was the game plan for Gardner-Webb. You don't have Haynes King in the game now. You've got a young quarterback. His pre-snap reads are not going to be as thorough as Haynes King's pre-snap reads would be.
3 turnovers last week, a turnover to start this week. Here on first down, Hampton, and that pass is through the hands of Anthony Lowe.
You got to help your quarterback, Anthony Lowe. You've got to squeeze that football. That's a good pass by Hampton. It's not a perfect pass, but it's a very catchable pass. You've got to squeeze that football and help your quarterback out.
Much like last week with the turnovers, the defense, again, for Georgia Tech, forced to step up as their coordinator, Blake Gideon, says, put the fire out. Hampton with plenty of time, now forced out of the pocket. He's got some green, and he's going to run for the first down and scamper out of bounds.
And a good read by Hampton. He saw man coverage, so all the defensive backs had their backs to him. He allowed them to clear out, and once they cleared out, he had a clear lane to run and get the first down. Watch Hampton. He's going through his reads. He doesn't see anything that he likes. He sees man coverage, and he sees nobody paying attention to him. I thought they would see a spy. They will definitely have to have a spy on Hampton as this game progresses.
On first down, Holmes switches fields, has some blockers. Holmes tripped up inside the 5 by Kyle Eifert. A 26-yard run by Quayshawn Holmes.
The defense is right there to make the tackle, but you see the ability of Quayshawn Holmes to change direction, get to the outside, and once he finds a seam, he has the speed to get up the field. A good job by Holmes being able to read where the lane was, stop, and get going the opposite side of the field.
First and goal from the 4 after the timeout. Gotta watch out for Hampton. And there's a lot of movement early. The referee today is Art Brown.
And one of the things that Blake Gideon told us yesterday when we were talking to him about this offense for Gardner-Webb, he said, you know, you look at the first 4 drives, they looked very lost, but after that, they got going, and they got into a rhythm that's scary because they all looked like they knew what they were doing. And you see that early in this football game. They look very confident and comfortable offensively.
Carson Gressick in the backfield for the first time, a touchdown machine last year. Hampton stepping up, he's gonna run. And he takes it inside down to the 1. He gets 8 yards back. It'll be second and goal. Kilo Stone with a tackle.
And you talk about demoralizing a defense. You get defensive pressure from your defensive line. You get all of your receivers covered up, but the quarterback, you've got to account for him.
Gressick tripped up, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Tay Harris doing a good job coming up to make that tackle. He was an Under Armour All-American last year as a senior in high school. And now a big third down coming up.
6'6", 240 pounds, quarterback sneak right here. I'd run my big fella and see if he can get to the goal line for me.
Hampton, he's gonna pass, throws, and that ball is caught. Anthony Lowe for the touchdown. Anthony Lowe dropped one earlier. He went up to make a beautiful catch here.
But they got the matchup that they wanted. They got Anthony Lowe on the nickelback, Jai Gilmore. He's a little bit smaller. A great catch, a great adjustment on the football. And because you've got such a big quarterback and the fear of him running that quarterback sneak, a lot of times you've got linebackers that may sit just for a quick moment, and that split second may have allowed Anthony Lowe to get to the outside of that nickelback and create enough space to get the ball to get that touchdown.
Charlie Buell on for the extra point. And that kick is no good. Missed extra points. A fumble led to a touchdown. Gardner-Webb takes advantage. Nate Hampton rolling out to his right, finds his favorite target, Anthony Lowe, who makes a beautiful catch. Chris Reichert, he was a college quarterback. He's able to coach Nate Hampton. He actually brought Anthony Lowe with him from Tiffin as they capitalized on the fumble.
And you see what they did right here. They brought the looping defensive end, number 8, Robert Holtz, but they also brought 2 linebackers, number 24, Kahari Haynes, and number 11, Jackson Marshall. So what that did was confuse the offensive lineman. As the quarterback, when you see that and you see the confusion, you've got to get rid of the football very quickly. But once again, we've got a young quarterback who has not seen the variety of blitzes that maybe a Haynes King has seen. So that is what we will continue to see throughout this afternoon. Deception by a defense that already came in with the plan of deception, now feeling they can really use that against a young quarterback.
Forrest, look at that graphic right there. Last season, 3 fumbles lost. We're not even a game and a half into this season. They have the same number.
Well, you've got to prepare for adversity. One of the big questions we asked the coaching staff yesterday, and they said, we do prepare, but who could think that we would see 3 turnovers in the first 7 minutes last week, and now you've got a turnover in the first drive this week.
And the pass complete to Malik Rutherford, and Rutherford will get 11 yards and a first down. Malik Rutherford, they want to get him touches today. Let's see if that completion will kind of settle things down for Aaron Philo, the redshirt freshman. And off to Haynes. Haynes, that burst over the 40 to the 42. He gets 6. Jakari Brown with a tackle.
This is what makes this offense so difficult. You've got the jet sweep motion, but you've got the quarterback Philo handing it off to the back coming with the dive play. So you have to have eye control. You have to be careful for that jet sweep action, but you also have to pay attention to the counter action possibly coming back across the formation.
On second down, the handoff once again to Haynes, and it looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. Gets it to the 46. It is a first down.
And that counter action I was just talking about is what you saw on that play. You have a guard tackle pulling around the edge, clearing out a lane for the back to get north and south and get up the field. So there's so many intricacies to this offense as a defense that you have to be eye weary of.
First and 10. Quick pass, Dean Patterson. And Patterson takes it into Gardner-Webb territory. He gets 6 yards. So a couple of quick passes we've seen on this drive for Aaron Philo.
And that's what you want to do as your young quarterback. Get him some quick passes. Get him comfortable. Make him feel good about what he's doing. You don't want to allow him to start thinking too much.
Second and 4. Again, the handoff, a nice tackle as Haynes gets wrapped up. That was Q Billingsley coming up to make that.
And you see, once again, that counter action. You've got the jet sweep action coming across the field, but you've got the counter coming back across the opposite side. A good job by Q Billingsley to read that and get up the field and make the tackle. Because if he doesn't make the tackle, there are no other backside defenders.
On this third down, if you're going to pass, watch for Stockton. Philo rolling out, taking the shot down the field. This is up for the air for the interception, and it is Wendell McClain. That essentially works as a punt, but it's going to be the second turnover in as many possessions.
And you're affecting your young quarterback's psyche because now he has 2 turnovers in the first half, a fumble, and now he's thrown an interception. Very dangerous pass, and look at Gardner-Webb. They've got the ball back.
All right, last week, 3 turnovers in 3 possessions for Georgia Tech. This week, 2 turnovers forced in 2 possessions.
And I think what the difficult thing is, last week you had Haynes King in the football game. Your very mature, well-played quarterback. You've got a young quarterback right here, and I think you put him in a bad position. The first turnover, I get it. They had him confused the offensive line. He had immediate pressure. But that turnover, you've got 3rd and 3. You're running the ball effectively. The short passing game is starting to work. I think you put your young quarterback in a bad position trying to get it all on that play.
Yeah, and now look at this. Already half the turnovers they had all of last year in the first game plus. From the 12, on first down, it's Gressick. And he'll take it to the 16, gets 4. Cayman Spalding with the tackle.
And one of the things you'll notice about Gardner-Webb, they're going to line up on the football as soon as it's spotted. They want to get tempo going. They want to try and tire out this Georgia Tech defensive line.
Cole Pennington in at quarterback right now, not Nate Hampton. Pennington to pass over the middle. It's dropped by Anthony Lowe. High pass. So Cole Pennington, the transfer out of Marshall, where his dad, Chad Pennington, played. Interesting how Chris Reichert has gone to this changeup here. Third and 6, empty backfield. Now Gressick motions back in. Pennington. Sitting there is Chris Lofton. Lofton breaks a tackle. The second effort gets the 25 and gets the first down.
And you saw what Pennington did on that play. His pre-snap read showed Georgia Tech had 7 in the box. So he shifted, brought everyone back in to get max protection and allow him the time that he needed to get the ball past the sticks. Smart play by Pennington.
Just looks poised back there in the pocket. Pressure coming. Gressick picks up the blitz past the sideline. And it's Lofton again. And let's see where they mark him out. He's going to have a first down.
And a good job by the offensive line, giving Pennington the time that he needs to find the matchup that he liked. He saw the matchup he liked on the outside with Chris Lofton, and he's able to get the ball down the field.
Gressick takes the handoff, and he'll stumble forward, marked down at the 39. He'll get 4 on first down. Omar Daniels able to chip him up.
And what Gardner-Webb is doing, when they get 4 and 5 yards on first down, it opens up the playbook for second down. It gives them a very manageable second down. They can either go through the air or they can hand the football off. So it keeps this Georgia Tech defense on its heels.
2nd and 6. Pennington going to try to tuck it and run with it. We've got a flag. Could this be a face mask? Nope, it's going to be a hold against Gardner-Webb. Christian Garrett with the sack. It's going to be 3rd and 8.
And Georgia Tech brought the delayed blitz on that play, something we hadn't seen early in this football game. They've got to try and find ways to create additional pressure. They're not getting pressure with their 4-down linemen. And Jordan Vandenberg, the big disruptor's not in on this series, so they've got to find ways to get pressure up the field on quarterback Pennington.
Empty backfield. Now Gressick in motion. Pressure coming up the middle, and down goes Pennington. Sacked by Kilo Stone. That's the guy.
And number 55, C.J. Dawson, you've just got to do a better job. He just pretty much gave an Olay on that play. You've got to make contact. You've got to know what your blocking assignment is right there. 55, you're looking inside. C.J. Dawson, you've got to get the most dangerous man, and the most dangerous man on that play was Akilo Stone. You've got to get hands on him, touch him, do something to knock him off his path.
2 men back for Georgia Tech. It's going to be Stockton to take it. Stockton breaks a couple of tackles, gets to the outside, and Stockton is forced out at the 35. There is a flag on the field, thrown late.
And sometimes guys do things that are just unnecessary. You see the block in the back right as Stockton makes his initial cut. And Stockton's trying to help out his high school teammate, giving him great field position.
All right, it's going to be Georgia Tech ball when we come back. That run negated. The rain has started to fall once again as Georgia Tech trails Gardner-Webb 6-0. First time in Gardner-Webb school history to force a turnover on the first 2 possessions of the ball game. And Aaron Philo, let's see what happens here on possession number 3 with Malachi Holsley in the backfield. Gets it to the tight end down the sideline, and that's a nice play. Brett Seither.
And coming into this game, one of the big questions was, will Georgia Tech get their tight ends more involved? You see right here, a good job by Philo getting rid of the football. He had immediate pressure when he came out of that ball fake, but he was able to get the ball to Seither. And once Seither got the ball, you saw the big fella rumbling down the field.
A 26-yard completion. Saban McLaughlin came off the edge to deliver the hit on Philo. And a reverse. A block. Haynes is going to be out of bounds, marked down at the 12. A 20-yard run there for Jamal Haynes.
And one of the keys to the success of the running game for Georgia Tech is the blocking out on the perimeter. A good job by number 4, Isaiah Kenyon, to get the key block to spring him to get to the outside to get those yards.
Red zone opportunity. Holsley runs right into a few Gardner-Webb defenders, picks up a yard.
A good job by big number 90, Javin Griffin, not allowing any movement in those A-gaps. And that's what you want to do as an A-gap player. If you're Javin Griffin, Andre Crawley, the two big fellas on the interior of that defensive line, don't allow movement.
Philo, corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Isaiah Kenyon. An 11-yard strike from Philo to Kenyon.
And that is a veteran play from the young fella. You can throw to open receivers, or you can throw a receiver open. Watch what Philo does on this play. He allows the play to develop, and he throws his receiver open. He wasn't open, but where he placed the football, he allowed his receiver to become an open receiver. Great placement and great patience by Philo on that play.
Aiden Burr on for the extra point. This would give Georgia Tech the lead, eerily similar to last week when they turned the ball over on their 3 first possessions. Yet here they are, a chance to go up after turning it over on the first 2 possessions. A fumble, an interception, and now a touchdown thrown by Aaron Philo with 3:07 to go here in the first quarter. Speaking yesterday with Brent Key, asked him, how long did it take you to get over those 3 turnovers last week? He goes, I don't know if I'm over them yet. So now you throw in 2 more turnovers on their first 2 possessions today, and yet you're still leading by 1. I can't help but think, what's going through his mind?
Well, it was funny. You asked him, you said, Coach, can you share with us some of the things that you were saying to your coaches in the box? You said, guys, I'm not going to share those things. You can probably imagine some of the things that came out of my mouth. But once again, this defense and this offense, they don't panic. And I think that's a reflection of all of the seniors on this team. You got 27 seniors. They've been through the ringer. A lot of these guys were with Coach Key when he became the interim head coach to becoming the head coach. So they've seen and done it and been through it all. They've been through the Bowling Green loss. They've been through all of that, so they don't panic. And it's a reflection of what you see from this ball club.
This will be a touchback by Aiden Burr. Now the question is, with the rain coming down, what does this Gardner-Webb team decide to do? Do they go back out with Cole Pennington, or do they go back to their starter, Nate Hampton, at quarterback? Last week, Cole Pennington did get a little bit of time, but Nate Hampton, he did the bulk of the work, was the FCS National Player of the Week last week.
And you never question a coach's strategy, but I have to wonder why you go away from Hampton when you had such a successful drive, taking the ball all the way down the field, and you know the dangers he presents to defenses with his size and his ability to run the football, something he did well that first drive when they scored.
Yeah, well, he is back in there now, trailing 7-6. Quayshawn Holmes takes the handoff on first down. He's going to be tackled for a loss. Daquan White coming up to make the play. A loss of 2 on that tackle by Hampton. Daquan White with that tackle. Nate Hampton last week. First Gardner-Webb player to win National Player of the Week since 2014. 2nd and 12. Hampton will throw it, and he goes once again to Anthony Lowe, and Lowe is going to have the first down. He gets 20 yards on that 2nd and 12.
And defensive coordinator Blake Gideon has to be upset on that play. You've got Amari Harvey and the safety, DJ Moore, in coverage. So you should have that receiver bracketed. You should have someone beneath and someone over the top. He was wide open on that play for Hampton to get the ball to him.
Holmes gets met at the 44. Clayton Powell-Lee and Cayman Spalding combine for the tackle after a pickup of 2. There is Blake Gideon, first year as a defensive coordinator here with Georgia Tech. Came over from University of Texas, the Longhorns. That's where he played, coached the last few years. Now 2nd and 8. Hampton, back shoulder throw, it's incomplete. Daquan White on the coverage.
And you saw Georgia Tech brought the blitz on that play. Quayshawn Holmes did a good job of picking it up. But what Hampton saw, immediate pressure, he had to get rid of the football. White Lofton has to recognize the blitz and turn around and help your quarterback out. That's a route where you should cut that short, looking back to help your quarterback. You have to pay attention to what the defense is doing when you're on the outside.
3rd and 8 with the rain falling here in Atlanta. Pressure coming. Hampton eludes it. And he will be tackled at the 49. Braden Manley, a pickup of 5. 4th down coming up. You're at the 49-yard line. Let's see what Gardner-Webb decides to do.
I don't think it's a question. They look like they're getting ready to go for it. They feel confident with their big quarterback. They've been able to make some plays against this defense. It's 4th and very manageable. And you're coming into a ball game where you've already created 2 turnovers. You feel good about the young quarterback and your defense, although you did give up a touchdown on that last drive. I think they're thinking, why not at this point?
They were 2 for 4 last week on 4th down. Do you take a chance here and try to draw them offside? If nothing else, delay of game. And a timeout is going to be taken here by Gardner-Webb.
I like the aggressiveness right now by Gardner-Webb. Too often, you've got teams that come in and concede, hey, we're just coming to get a check. You know, we understand that we're not supposed to win this football game. I like, as a coaching staff, challenging my players and say, hey, guys, we're 1-0, they're 1-0. We've driven down the field and scored. We've proven that we can score against this defense. Let's go get 4 yards.
Tyler Johns told us that he has never seen a coach as good at implementing and developing a culture as Chris Reiser. He said on his play call sheet, he writes, trust the process, trust the tempo, trust the players. And right now, they're trusting all of that to see if they can convert on 4th and 4 here in the opening quarter, trailing by 1.
But also, when you have a timeout, you have some time to think.
Take it all back, and here comes Jackson Dorr.
And rationalize and say, hey, you know, let's be smart and play field position football. We've got bad weather coming in right now. It's raining. We've got a young quarterback on the other side of the field. Let's play field position football.
Eric Rivers back at his own 8-yard line. Jackson Dorr, not the usual punter. And there is a flag going to have roughing the kicker as it's down at the 5.
And either way, it's going to be a first down because they were only needing 4 yards. Whether it's roughing or running into the kicker, and he hit the plant leg, so I think that's going to be roughing.
That's Vandenberg, too.
Mental errors, fumble, an interception. Now we've got a special teams error. And even if it was just running into the kicker, it was going to be a first down because they only needed 4 yards. So why take a chance? Why bring pressure? You're going to get the football back.
That was going to be my question. You already answered it. Why are you even bringing pressure against the punt right there?
No need. And you talk about a momentum swing now. because you not only give them the ball back, but you flip the field.
Now you've got the ball at the 37-yard line of Georgia Tech. Under a minute to play here in this first quarter. Hampton wanted to take a shot. Now he's going to run. And he goes down, sliding. And they're looking for a flag. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. That should be the final play of this opening quarter.
And a good job by Hampton. He didn't see what he liked down the field. He didn't try to force it. Get as many positive yards as you can and get down. Don't take any unnecessary contact.
And that will be the final play of this first quarter. A wild first quarter, couple turnovers, 7-6. Georgia Tech beats Gardner-Webb. Back here, second quarter to open things up. But how about in the first quarter, the way the game started, a fumble by the redshirt freshman Aaron Philo. It would turn into a touchdown on a beautiful grab by Anthony Lowe for Gardner-Webb. And then Philo, back of the end zone, able to find Canyon for the touchdown. Here to open up the second. It's a quarterback run by Nate Hampton. He'll get 6 yards. Wendell McClain with a stop.
And it kind of gave Georgia Tech's defense a taste of their own medicine. You had the jet sweep action, you had the fake dive, and Hampton kept the ball and found the seam to get positive yards.
Hampton hands it off. Nowhere to go for Quayshawn Holmes. Jason Moore, one of the players in there for the tackle.
Defense number 8.
And a good job by the Georgia Tech defenders on the right side of that defensive line to get pressure up the field, disrupting the blocking assignments of the offensive linemen for Gardner-Webb.
Well, Forrest, this time they're in no man's land, so they are going to go for it here on 4th and 5. Nearly drawing an offside.
And if you're the center, you've got to snap that football when he jumps off sides.
Pressure coming. Down goes Hampton. Melvin Jordan IV with a sack and a loss of 7 on the play.
And Quayshawn Holmes, number 3, you've got to stick your head in there. You saw the linebacker coming. Stick your head in there right there. You cannot miss that block right there. You can't throw your shoulder out there. You've got to give your body up for your quarterback. It's the 3rd sack by Georgia Tech this afternoon. They're getting pressure and making the big play when they need to. That is a play, Quayshawn Holmes, you have to make. You've got to help your quarterback out.
Philo after the turnover on downs. On 1st down, the pass is hauled in. Good hands by Malik. Handoff now. There's the opening. Mosley. Touchdown! 55 yards. Malachi Mosley, the transfer from UPenn. His coaches says, you know what? If you time him in the 40, it's not great. But you put him in a game, and he can run away from anybody. He just did.
And you see the dangers of when you bring all of your defensive players up in the box. There are no back-end defenders to cover that up once he breaks past the second-level defender.
Aiden Burr on for the extra point. He's got game speed. Apparently, he's got runaway game speed. 55-yard touchdown run for Malachi Mosley. Back here at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia Tech now leading 14-6. First two drives, not good. Last two, very good. Anthony Lowe, Quayshawn Holmes back deep here for Gardner-Webb to field the kick from Aiden Burr. Another touchback here. Well, the first Georgia Tech touchdown came on a pass from Aaron Philo to Isaiah Canyon in the end zone. And now you rely on those offensive linemen open the hole for Malachi Holsley, and he did the rest. I would love to know what's going through the mind right now of Brent Key.
I think a little bit of frustration. He's a little bit more at ease because they've gotten into a rhythm offensively, but he's still a little bit frustrated because the discipline hasn't been there early with some of the missteps that they've had and the turnovers. You've got to eliminate those turnovers.
Hampton in the shotgun. Hand off to Quayshawn Holmes, and Holmes gets tripped up in the backfield. Tajay Butler with a loss of 1.
And if you're Holmes, you've got to hit it and go. You've got an aggressive up-the-field defense from Georgia Tech. You cannot dance around in the backfield. You've got to get up the field and get going. A good job by Kelvin Hill right there to get up the field and make that tackle from the back end of that defense.
2nd and 11. Pass on the slant is caught by Anthony Lowe. And Lowe's going to have the first down. Lowe has been the go-to receiver for Nate Hampton. Not just this week, but also last week.
And when Gardner-Webb's able to pick up that blitz, you give Hampton the time. He's able to find receivers down the field.
Now he's going down the field. Once again, it's through the hands of Anthony Lowe.
And one of the things we asked the coaching staff, we asked Tyler Johns, we said, hey, is there any position balance where you feel like you have the advantage? And they felt like when they had man coverage on the outside, they could get past the Georgia Tech defenders. And you see on that play, Anthony Lowe was able to run past Kelvin Hill. So those are the matchups they look for when they get receivers on those safeties on the outside.
Towards the outside, Sean Brady, the true freshman. He's going to be tackled for a loss of 2. So 3rd and long coming up right now for Gardner-Webb after they missed on that big play.
And it's all about matchups, and you've got to take advantage of them when you have them. You saw that earlier. If they make that big catch, they're able to flip the field. Now they're in a 3rd and long because of the loss on that 2nd down play.
Gideon dial up the pressure again. Drops back. Pass is complete to Holmes. Holmes, good effort. And now he gets wrapped up. Hit by Tajay Butler. Picks up 8, and that will bring out the punt unit, I would expect.
And you saw what Gideon did. He brought 3 pass rushes. He dropped 8 back into coverage, kept everything in front of them. And when you have that type of defense, all you want to do is make the tackle. You don't care about giving up the pass. You want to keep everything in front of you, make the tackle. Don't allow them to get past the sticks. You give up all of that underneath, but you don't allow them to get past the sticks.
Brady Braun has to be one of the biggest punters I've ever seen. 6 feet, 245. And that's a booming punt. A perfect kick. That is going to be down around the 6-yard line. A 51-yard punt by Brady Braun. Brady Braun, he's got the stash, he's got the look. Put some spin on that. That Aaron Philo would get the start at quarterback as Haynes King is out with a nagging lower body injury. The start was not what he was looking for.
Well, the early fumble, and right here I thought they put him in a bad position, third and short, and sprint him outside the pocket. You know, a throw he should not have made, but he got it back together. He allowed the play to develop and threw his receiver open on this deep crossing route to get the touchdown. And I think that is what you want to see from your young quarterback. Give him opportunities to be successful.
Starting this drive at their own 6-yard line after that fantastic punt. On first down, the handoff to Jamal Haynes, and Haynes will get a couple of yards. You can see it's starting to rain a little bit harder. This game was delayed about 30 minutes due to some dangerous weather in the area. We did expect rain throughout this game. Should stop, in about 30 minutes or so. On 2nd and 8, Philo deep down the middle, completes the pass to Zion Taylor, all the way down to the 45 of Gardner-Webb.
And you had zero coverage on that play. They brought the safeties down in the box, and as soon as the ball was snapped, they brought pressure on the young quarterback. He did a good job of reading, knew where he had the matchup on the outside, and delivered a strike.
A 45-yard completion now up the middle. Haynes, it's his turn. 47 yards, touchdown.
Zero coverage once again. They're assuming they're going to run the football, maybe because of the bad weather and the rain coming in. But when you've got everybody down in the box, there are no back-end defenders. So once the back clears the second-level defenders, there's nobody to stop him or slow him down for pursuit to get there.
Aiden Burr on for the extra point. And that is good. How about 2 plays to go all the way the length of the field? First, Aaron Philo, 45 yards down the middle to Zion Taylor. And then we had just seen Malachi Holsley go 55 yards last drive. This time it's 47 for Jamal Haynes. The running back tandem of Malachi Holsley, Jamal Haynes, each with long touchdown runs. 21 unanswered points by Georgia Tech as they now lead 21-6. I think they've settled down. Aiden Burr to kick off. Anthony Lowe, Quayshawn Holmes back. And they will try to return it. Anthony Lowe. Lowe going backwards. Oh boy. Back now at his own 2. Second time that Gardner-Webb has tried to return this from halfway through their own end zone.
Questionable decision right there. You down it, get good field position to start the drive. You're behind 2 scores. Now you've put your team in a very uncomfortable position, backed up against the own goal.
Illegal block in the back. Return team number 42. If that penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal line, first down.
See, right now, Forrest, with the ball at the 1, I could see Blake Gideon dialing up some pressure right here, trying to see if he can get the safety.
Absolutely. But I'm using my big quarterback, Nick Hampton. I'm running 3 quarterback sneaks in a row. I mean, when you look at the field position, this is the 3rd time they've started inside their own 20-yard line. That is not good for an offense when you're trying to get something going, especially against an up-the-field, aggressive, attacking defense like Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech looking over for the call as Hampton in the shotgun in his end zone. The handoff to Gressick. And Gressick, that's a good run right there out to the 6, picks up 5, just gives them some breathing room.
And one of the dangers when you're playing cover 1 and you've got 1 deep safety, but you've got everybody in the box, if that back is able to get to the second level defender and get one-on-one, you feel good about your guy being able to beat that linebacker to get those extra yards.
Gressick again up the middle. And he'll get 3, setting up 3rd and 2. Akilo Stone on the tackle.
And even if they don't get a score, you want to extend this drive. You want to give your defense some time to regroup, catch their breaths. You also want to put yourselves in a position to feel positive about what you're doing offensively with the last 2 drives not going your way. You've got to get something positive. You've got to get a first down.
For the last 4 on 3rd downs is this Gardner-Webb team. The running Bulldogs hope to run. They go Wildcat, and that's going to be a bad snap. Some flags, could be potential false start.
False start. Offense. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
I don't like Wildcat this close, backed up against your own end zone. I think you go traditional offense. You've gotten positive yards. You put yourselves in 3rd and 2. And then you go away from traditional offensive set to the Wildcat. I just think you stay in the traditional set and run the ball.
Why go Wildcat to a running back who's 215 versus your quarterback who's 6'6", 240?
Now you take your quarterback completely out of the play. When you have him in the play, you give the defense something extra to worry about.
Now it's 3rd and 7. Gressick, nowhere to go up the middle, stuffed. So that penalty is costly. That play call was costly.
But you also now put your punter in a worse position to try and get the ball out of there. At least when the ball was up on the 8-yard line, 9-yard line, you gave him some extra room to try and punt the football. Now he's backed up all the way against the back end line, trying to punt the ball out of there in bad weather. There's so many negatives as a result of going Wildcat on that play.
Yeah, I'm with you. Brady Braun on to punt, had a good punt his last time. Needs to get one off quickly here. And a timeout will be taken here by Gardner-Webb.
30-second charge timeout, Gardner-Webb. Their second. There's no foul for a delay game due to the timeout.
Well, that was the reason for the timeout. Was about to be a delay of game, so Chris Reiser calls a timeout. Georgia Tech, the last 3 possessions have ended in touchdowns.
Well, once again, Philo doing a good job of finding his receiver on that deep crossing route. And then here, 0 coverage on the back end. So once Holsley gets through the hole, there's no one there to tackle him. And Haynes, same thing, 0 coverage, nobody on the back end. Once he gets to the second level defenders, there's no one there.
Braun does get the punt away. Running up to make the play at the 47 is Eric Rivers, and Rivers run out about the 35-yard line. A 12-yard return after a 42-yard punt. So Aaron Philo comes in as a decorated high school quarterback. So decorated, as a matter of fact, that he broke the state record in Georgia by Trevor Lawrence for most passing yards. Look at that completion percentage. So when you talk about a guy who comes in with some big-time billing, it's Aaron Philo.
That's a great high school program he comes from, Prince Avenue Christian.
Now Philo with great starting field position at the 36-yard line. Best starting field position of the game. Holsley goes out in motion. Quick pass. And that's Malik Rutherford. That little guy, 5'9", 170. You get the ball in his hands and watch out.
Georgia Tech got what they wanted. They had offensive linemen out there to block, but Jamar Young, number 44, did a good job of finding the seam and getting to the back and getting him down.
Philo over the middle to the tight end, who may have heard some footsteps. Brett Seither kind of stopped the route as he had a defender coming on.
Absolutely alligator arms on that play.
Now, that, you like saying that, being a Florida State Seminole.
I don't know. I have to stay away from that one.
Okay, yeah. All right, fair enough. 3rd and 8.
False start, offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's against Keelan Rutledge, the right guard, who the coaching staff could not say enough good things about that young man. As a matter of fact, Brent Key said he is the best offensive lineman he has ever coached. And he went on to go, bar none.
And what's crazy about that statement is Coach Key coached at Alabama.
Yes.
So think about some of those offensive linemen he's had contact with and coached at the University of Alabama.
On 3rd down, Philo rolling out on the run, throws low, and that pass is caught by Malik Rutherford for the 1st down. A 17-yard completion on 3rd down.
Excellent throw by Philo, sprinting outside of the pocket, allowing his receiver to clear the defender and putting it right where he can get his hands on it. Just clearing number 44, Jamar Young.
Now Holsley. Nice job to spin away from what could have been a big hit. Second down and 6 coming up here for Tech. 5.5 to play here in the 1st half. Philo swings it out to Holsley. Holsley makes the move, has the 1st down. He steps out of bounds. We do have a flag, though.
You're going to get Bailey Stockton with a block in the back. Good job by the defender. The swim technique past him.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 7. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Excellent play by the defender. He did a swim technique, what you see defensive linemen do to get past him. Watch on the top of your screen. The middle receiver. swim technique right around him. Good job by the defender to get past Bailey Stockton, and that's all Stockton could do on that play.
So now 2nd down and 16. Reverse again. Rivers. And Rivers maybe gets a yard. Antonio O'Berry.
You know, Barry stayed at home. He didn't allow himself to get blocked. He got up the field. He recognized and deciphered what they were trying to do. And that's from game study and film study right there. Good job by O'Berry.
Jamal Haynes split out to the top of your screen. Brett Sod, the tight end in motion. Empty backfield, Philo on the run. Throws, open receiver is Rutherford, and he is tackled at the 1. A 26-yard completion.
And a good job by Rutherford to find a hole in the coverage. He found a hole in the zone. And a strike by Philo, putting the ball right where only Rutherford can make a play on it.
3rd pass of the game, over 20 yards for Aaron Philo. 1st and goal from the 1. Handoff to the end zone. Touchdown, Jamal Haynes. 2nd touchdown of the game for Haynes. And it's 4 consecutive possessions with touchdowns for Georgia Tech.
And a good job by the offensive line firing out the football. You see the guard pulling around. A good job clearing a way for Haynes to get to the end zone, to get the ball across the goal line for the touchdown.
Aiden Burr on for the extra point. It's 28 unanswered by the Yellow Jackets. After turnovers on their first 2 drives, they have scored touchdowns on their last 4. Georgia Tech trying to move to 2-0 on the season. As we take a look at some of the other scores around the ACC here today. Last night, Louisville beat James Madison 28-14. Illinois crushed Duke earlier today, 45-19. How about that matchup? Baylor and SMU. A double overtime win by the Baylor Bears. NC State winning a nail-biter against Virginia. And in double OT, Syracuse takes down the UConn Huskies. It's a better matchup in basketball.
Yeah, but I'm a little disappointed. We don't have that FSU score up there as well. 77-3. You've got to give mention to those Florida State Seminoles, who I think felt disrespected all week because everybody talked about how bad Alabama played as opposed to how well FSU played. And you saw today, just maybe FSU is one of those teams people need to be talking a little bit more about how well they played.
Fair catch signaled and made by Anthony Lowe. This season, it's just not even yet 1.5 games in, but the first quarter has not been kind to Tech so far.
But what has been impressive is the way that they've responded to that adversity. Coaches talk all the time about coaching through adversity, practicing adverse situations. But you cannot practice true adversity. You have to go through it. And they've shown that they can deal with it. Now, is this something they want to continue to have to deal with? No, they do not. But they've shown that they can deal with adversity at home and in an adverse environment.
Nate Hampton will start at the 25. Hand off to Holmes. Holmes, good job moving that pile up to the 32. He gets 7. Gardner-Webb capitalized off that turnover, but since then, they have done nothing.
There have been some questionable play calls for Gardner-Webb. I thought the going with
Wildcat.
the Wildcat
Yep.
was a pretty bad call. I didn't understand going to Pennington on the second drive when you had such a great drive, that first drive with Hampton. But you've got to regroup and you've got to continue to play. You've got a whole nother half and you've got a quarter, a 2-minute drill right now you're trying to get into and trying to get a score on the board.
Nice job by Braden Manley coming off the edge to make that tackle, a pickup of just 1. 28-6, Gardner-Webb trails. They trailed 35-7 last week. Slightly different opponent this week. Georgia Tech this week, Western Carolina last week, and you can see Braden Manley kind of holding that left hand.
And although the opponent is different, if you're the coaching staff, Coach Reeser and his coaching staff, you've got to remind your team, we were here last week. We can get this done.
3rd and 2, not going Wildcat this time. Handoff up the middle, and this time it's stopped by Tajay Butler. Tajay Butler at that linebacker position has made a couple of nice plays. And with coming up on a 2-minute timeout, you'll take this all the way there, and you'll have a decision to make. I gotta think they're gonna punt. At least make Georgia Tech try to go the entire length of the field. We have hit the 2-minute timeout. And the sun is starting to break through. The rain is gone. It's 28-6. Georgia Tech leading. Back here, that is just down the street, the varsity here in Atlanta. Coming up next, we've got Vanderbilt against Virginia Tech, Stanford, BYU, and then on Thursday, NC State against Wake Forest. It's a great little pocket of Atlanta to have this stadium, a beautiful look at the skyline. 4th and 2 for Gardner-Webb, and it's going to be back-to-back 3-and-outs as Brady Braun, the punter, is on. And Eric Rivers standing back at his own 24-yard line. Rivers lets it take a bounce. Now he'll have to let it bounce a few more times. And this is going to be a perfect punt for Brady Braun. Again, downed inside the 10. He's like, I'm doing everything I can.
Now, if I'm Gardner-Webb, I am not going back to that zero defense. You've got to have defensive. You've got to have some coverage on the back end of that defense. So I go cover 2 at least. I wouldn't even feel comfortable going cover 1. I go cover 2 at least. Keep 2 deep safeties back.
It was a 61-yard punt. Just if you can explain cover 0, cover 1, cover 2.
Cover 2 means you've got 2 deep safeties. Cover 0 means you have everybody down in the box. You don't have anybody on the back end of that defense. Cover 1 means you have 1 deep safety in the middle of the field. Cover 2, that means they can split the field. Don't allow anything to get behind you. And if something does get past the second level, you've got a defender coming up to make the tackle.
High snap, but a flag thrown before. We're going to have a false start.
False start. Offense, number 72. Penalty forced, half the distance to the goal line. First down.
It's 28-6. Georgia Tech leading. If you were to talk to Brent Key at halftime, you think he's happy or frustrated?
Absolutely not. He likes to score, but he doesn't like how they got there. You want to have a clean football game, especially coming off of last week's game where you had those 3 early turnovers. So to start this game with 2 turnovers on your first 2 possessions, he is not happy about that. Is he happy about his young quarterback getting into a rhythm? Of course, you want your second team guy to be ready to play if he needs to and has to, but you cannot be happy with the turnovers.
That pass complete to Eric Rivers, who's able to run for the first down. He picks up 17. You got a chance right now to run a 2-minute drill. You've got all 3 timeouts remaining if you're Georgia Tech. And you've got your redshirt freshman quarterback at the helm. Swung out to Haynes. Haynes has a block by the tight end, Luke Harpring. That name here at Georgia Tech sounds familiar. His father, Matt Harpring, a great basketball player. Also wore the number 15.
And if you see what Gardner-Webb is doing, they're showing 1 defensive front, but they're shifting to a different defense right before the snap of the football. You want to confuse the young quarterback.
No confusion here as Jamal Haynes, another strong run out to midfield. We do have a flag on the field.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty, second down.
That's a second penalty on Malachi Carney on this drive.
And what Gardner-Webb is doing, they're showing 2 deep safeties pre-snap for the pre-snap read. But then they're bringing those safeties up in the box
Timeout.
and dropping
Georgia Tech, there first.
one of their cornerbacks into the safety role. So what they want to do is they want to dictate
There's no time on the play.
the play that the offense is calling, showing 2 safeties, making him fearful of trying to go deep, but then bringing those players down in the box and dropping 1 safety to try and stop the run.
Philo has to get rid of it. Throws this one out of play with the pressure coming. Antonio Berry applying the pressure. Third and 6 coming up. Check back to the sideline for Philo.
Got 6 on the line of scrimmage.
High throw, incomplete, trying to set up a screen for Malik Rutherford.
And dangerous throw because that went off of his fingertips. That ball is up in the air. That's what you do not want to happen because you've got defenders coming up attacking. And if that ball tips the wrong way, you've got a defender catching that ball on the run, running towards the end zone for a touchdown.
After 4 straight touchdown drives, Back-to-back incompletions for the first time today for Aaron Philo, and now on is Marshall Nichols to punt. Lowe makes the fair catch at the 30. 33 seconds here left in this first half for Gardner-Webb with one timeout. Both teams forced to come back in week one. Gardner-Webb had to come back from a 35-7 deficit. When they were down like that, Nate Hampton, he said, hey, I got us. I'm gonna score the next 3 times we have the ball. Gonna get us 2 in the first half, 1 to start the second half. And Tyler John said, all right, time to dial up some quarterback runs. On first down, pass is complete to Lowe. He'll get 6, and they'll use the final timeout.
30-second charge timeout, Georgia Tech.
Oh, it's Georgia Tech who takes the timeout, seeing maybe if they can force a punt and try to get a block. What a crazy day weather-wise.
Game clock operator, please set the game clock to 28 seconds. 28 seconds.
Welcome to Atlanta. The home of bipolar weather.
You know, I've always heard it be called Hot Atlanta, never heard bipolar Atlanta.
It's bipolar, hot, cold, wet, windy.
When is it cold?
Oh, Atlanta gets cold. We get ice, we get snow.
Like once every 4 years.
Absolutely not. You'll get 2 times, not once, twice. But you do get a lot of ice storms.
You do get a lot of ice, yeah.
A lot of ice, which is basically more dangerous than the snow.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Atlanta's kind of on that vortex where we'll get the intensely hot weather in the summertime, and we'll get some of those days in the winter where it's extremely cold or extremely icy. But then also, you know, during tornado season, you'll get tornadoes in some of the outskirt areas. We've had tornadoes actually in the city of Atlanta as well. So I forget what year it was. There was a bowl game where there was a delay during the game, and if it wasn't a delay, all those fans would have been out in the middle of a tornado.
Nowhere to go right there for Quayshawn Holmes. Another timeout.
Timeout, Georgia Tech, their second.
They're going to have to reset the game clock again.
And you see the big fella right there, Jordan Vandenberg. I mean, he just uproots the offensive lineman. Luke Rector, 71. You've got to get low. You've got to have a flat back firing out. You see the big fella's able to basically bear crawl, have a flat back fire out, and get up underneath him and just drive him back into the ball carrier.
Jordan Vandenberg, a transfer from Penn State out of Johannesburg, South Africa.
And this is a guy that played linebacker in high school. So think about the athletic ability he brings to the table. And the coaching staff talked about it. They said he's a foxhole guy. He's the guy you want, you know, in the foxhole with you. You don't have to tell him what you're going to do. Just tell him, hey, I need you to be there with me. Let's get it done.
He doesn't care how many guys. Just let's go.
Let's go, coach. I'm ready to go.
Please set the game clock to 24 seconds.
It was Vandenberg who last week went to his head coach, Brent Key, and said, we got you.
Game clock
we got you. Don't worry.
Please set the game clock to 24 seconds. Georgia Tech has 1 timeout. Gardner-Webb has 1 timeout.
All right, play clock, game clock has to be reset to 24 seconds. Running the ball again, and Georgia Tech will use its final timeout. Kyle Eford with the stop. I love the spoiler for Kyle Eford. I wish more linebackers wore the spoiler like back in the day. So intimidating. The neck roll.
Old school.
As an offensive lineman, what do you think of those?
I wore one. I thought it was the most intimidating thing because it makes you look bigger.
Yes.
I wore a visor as well, so I wanted to be bigger, a Darth Vader looking guy out there. You want to be intimidating, anything you could do. A lot of guys will wear, short shirts to, try and look sexy. I wanted a long shirt hanging out. I wanted to look nasty and just physically imposing.
Bailey Stockton back hoping to get a chance to return this punt from Brady Braun. You got to think they're going to dial up the pressure here. Braun gets the punt off. Fair catch signaled and made at the 21-yard line. I feel like this final minute of the quarter has taken longer than the entire quarter took.
And if you're Gardner-Webb, you just want to get to the locker room right now and try and regroup. And once again, you have to think, if you're Gardner-Webb, hey, we've been in this position before. This is where we were last week, and we found a way to get it done. Albeit a tougher opponent waits you in the second half, but you've been here. So you've got something you can lean on and use as a positive, coming out of the locker room for the second half.
No timeouts remaining for Georgia Tech. And the handoff. Another good run by Malachi Holsley. 15 yards. They want to get up and snap the ball and get another playoff. Philo avoids the pressure. Throws over the middle, and the pass is caught by Bailey Stockton, and that will do it for the first half. A 19-yard completion to end the half. In Brent Key, the start was not what he was hoping for. Turnovers on his first 2 possessions, but they finished with 4 touchdowns on their last 5 drives, and they lead 28-6 at the half.
Welcome into this ACC Network halftime report alongside the Hall of Famer Coach Mark Richt and former Stanford great Bryce Love. I'm Kelsey Riggs-Cup. It is great to be with you. It is week 2, but we got to take a little look back still at week 1 because some teams hoping to turn the page, other teams hoping to build on what happened last week, and Clemson is one of the teams hoping to turn the page and maybe potentially build on what happened last week. They fell to LSU in a top 10 game. The offense a little bit lackluster, the defense maybe a few things to clean up as well. Their head coach, though, Dabo Swinney, not impressed by either group of Tigers. Here's him and Brian Kelly.
It's like getting the final exam day 1 of class. They made a 65, we made a 58. Neither one of us were great.
I mean, I thought we dominated him in the second half. So he's either a really good grader for, giving himself a 58, or he's a really hard grader on us, or he didn't see the second half, which that might be the case. He might not have wanted to see the second half.
It's not talking season anymore, but we're just going to talk about what happens. It was good, right, Coach? You liked that.
I loved it.
We're going to hand out some week 1 grades. Would you like to grade me and Bryce on last week? Did we pass or fail? Don't give us any bad numbers.
Hey, coach us up. Fantastic.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
He's best in the history of the world.
I'm just going to stop there before you say something that I don't like. Let's give some grades out to the teams, and let's start, guys, with what we saw from that Clemson team. Coach, since you're all fired up about the grades, why don't you start with Cade Klubnik? What grade do you give him?
I gave Cade a C&5. A C&5.
I like a C&5.
That's old school C&5.
I just got a bad grade right there. I just got a I got C-. He hit about 50% of his passes, missed some open people, no touchdowns, a pick. Not a banner day for sure.
Right.
Yeah, me and Coach, we aren't too far apart, actually. So I went with a D. So for me, there was a lot of hype going in. The expectation was Heisman potentially down the line, expectation potential top draft pick for what we saw this past year. And he just never seemed comfortable to me. He never seemed like he had his right footing or he was confident maybe in that be the game plan, whatever it may be. But ultimately, what we saw is not what we ultimately wanted to see.
Coach, you mentioned it. His stats were kind of lackluster with those 230 yards, no touchdowns, and interception, and then they only scored 10 points. Mm-hmm. Fewest points they've scored in a home game there at Death Valley since like 2010. So Cade looking to build on some things, and as you mentioned, high expectations for him this year. Mm-hmm. Bryce, there are also high expectations for this Clemson defense this year. Mm-hmm. We came in talking about a lot of the guys up front. They allowed 230 yards in the air and over 100 on the ground. What grade do you give the defense?
So defense, I will say I'm a little bit more generous for the defensive side of the ball. It's more so a projection than anything else. I went with the B. I think that when we look at it at the end of the year, this LSU team is going to have games where they're putting up way more than 17 points. I mean, they held them to 17. They had a lot of big stops ultimately. Our coach used to talk about 21, keep them under 21. Then it's going to be a dogfight from there. So they need to improve in terms of the run game as well, but ultimately not a terrible start to the beginning of the year.
C+ for me, very close to that grade. I thought you hold anybody to 17, it's a pretty good day. But an LSU that has the chance to have the firepower you mentioned, I thought it was pretty darn good. Now, they couldn't get the stop in the end when they needed it, but got to score some points too.
They did have those 2 fumble recoveries, so a couple of good things for their defense as they look on to week 2 and ahead. A team that probably would love to just stay right here in week 1 is Florida State because, man, that was a fun one. You come out and you show number 8 Alabama what's up at home. Coach, what grade did the Seminoles get?
I gave him an A. I almost gave him an A+, but gosh, there's nothing to look forward to if you get an A+. But I thought they won the line of scrimmage. It was a total team victory. They overcame last year's 2-10 season. I mean, there's so many things. And they beat Bama. Nobody beats Bama. Nobody puts that kind of holds them to what they hold Bama to, like 80-some yards rushing, something crazy.
87, yeah.
It just hasn't been done in a long time. So just very impressed with the whole from the head coach down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went A+. So I went the highest that I could possibly give. I mean, you go from being 2-10 the year prior, and then first game of the year, you're beating Alabama. Obviously, the mystique may not be the same as what it was back, in our day, if anything else. But
not anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, not anymore, at least after what they did. But it's still Bama. You know what I mean? And this is still a team that had a lot of struggles this past year. Got to shout out Coach Norvell for what he was able to do going in there and leaving with the W.
And I give him an A+ because Tommy Castellanos talked that talk, and they backed it up. They backed your boy up, and he stood up in some big moments as well. Speaking of big moments, was there any bigger moment or bigger anticipation than seeing Bill Belichick as a college football coach? Coach, we were there on the sidelines for that one. And that first drive, man, they were zipping, and we were looking at everybody and high-fiving like, oh, what are we going to get? And then that was all we got. So what grade do you give Bill Belichick?
Gosh, I hate to think about what I'm going to say here, but I'm going to say a D. The most points ever scored against the Bill Belichick team ever.
Yeah.
And then the mystery of quarterback has kind of got me stumped as to what they're trying to get accomplished there. But just not a good day all the way around. Like you said, one great drive to start the game and another drive later on, but that was about it.
It's hard to be a college coach, right?
It's tough.
Well, he's finding it. Well, depends on where you're coaching, who your dudes
That's
are.
true. Yeah. Bryce, I wouldn't want to do it. What would you give them?
It's tough. I mean, me and Coach, we're in line for the most part.
Y'all pretty close.
That's what I was going to say. We're not too far off. I went D+. So similar to a lot of the reasons that Coach mentioned, he is the greatest NFL coach. Now, obviously, there's a level of transition going from the NFL to college, especially in this day and age. But at the same time, you have those narratives around Bill Belichick. Look at what he was able to do with the rookie quarterbacks at the next level. And you see what Matt Patricia did as well at Ohio State in terms of confusing that offensive side of the ball. So wanted to see something similar. That didn't pan out, but there's always week 2.
There is always week 2 as they go on the road to Charlotte. Listen, I would give them an F. You guys are kinder than me. They just didn't even look like they were prepared. They needed to do more, and they didn't. We'll see what happens moving forward. I know these guys always have a lot of thoughts about it. EJ Manuel and Roddy Jones with you every Monday and Wednesday on ACC Network. Enjoy the second half.
here at the half. Georgia Tech leads Gardner-Webb by the score of 28-6. Get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Here in Atlanta, Georgia Tech recovered after turnovers their first 2 possessions. We'll have highlights and stats when we come back. Back here in Atlanta, you're watching the ACC on ESPN. Getting set to start the third quarter between Georgia Tech and Gardner-Webb, 28-6. Tech on top of Gardner-Webb. As we get to say hello once again, Justin Kutcher alongside Forrest Connolly here in the booth. And Forrest, it was not the start that Georgia Tech was looking for here today.
Well, they've kind of gotten used to this. Turn the ball over again, and then just get going and firing on all cylinders. And Philo got going, but he had early turnovers. But you want to see adversity. I think they're tired of the adversity.
Yes.
They don't want it anymore. They've shown they can deal with it. But he did a good job of adjusting, and he's gotten himself into a rhythm, and this Georgia Tech offense has gotten into a really good rhythm.
5 turnovers through a game and a half so far for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. It started early, a fumble by the freshman. And that fumble would lead to a touchdown for Gardner-Webb. And all of a sudden, Gardner-Webb has a lead. But then Georgia Tech, after another turnover, would finally come alive on offense.
Well, Philo did a good job of allowing the receiver to clear on the deep crossing route, and then he got the ball going with Hosley with the long chunk touchdown run. And then Haynes said, hey, I can do the same thing. I can run away from Gardner-Webb defenders, and he got the long touchdown run. And then Haynes, once again, with the short touchdown run to give them 4 scores. They got it going offensively.
194 passing yards in the first half for Aaron Philo, a couple of rushing touchdowns from Haynes, as we mentioned. And you look at what really is going on. The second quarter, here's the difference. 21-0, Georgia Tech outscored Gardner-Webb. 271 total yards to 36 in that quarter.
Well, a couple of things stood out to me. Georgia Tech averaging 11.6 yards a carry. Gardner-Webb averaging 2.5 yards a carry. Georgia Tech, 3 sacks. Gardner-Webb, 0 sacks. The biggest play that Gardner-Webb has had is a 26-yard run by Quayshawn Holmes. When you look at Georgia Tech, Jamal Haynes, 47-yard run. Malachi Hosley, 55-yard run. Aaron Philo, 45-yard pass. I mean, so they've had those chunk plays. And I think that's been the difference. The amount of yards they're averaging per carry and making defensive plays and keeping pressure on the quarterback, Hampton, and Pennington when he was in the football game.
Yeah, and going back to that, you bring up a really good point where they brought in Cole Pennington, did Gardner-Webb, on the third drive, the third series of the game, right after they had scored a touchdown. You have to think that was a predetermined move by the coaching staff of Gardner-Webb.
And I don't know if you do that because of the way that Hampton and that offense looked like they were in a great rhythm when they scored that touchdown. They had the defense on their heels, and they took him out, and I think things just kind of went left from that point.
Charlie Bioral on to kick off here for Gardner-Webb. Georgia Tech won the toss. They deferred. It'll be Daylon Gordon back with Shane Marshall. And this will be Marshall who lets it go into the end zone. And he will get down for a touchback. Aaron Philo, 6'2", 220-pound redshirt freshman. Got off to a shaky start, but has recovered nicely. 194 yards, 12 of 17. What's been your impression so far of the freshman?
Well, he's doing a good job of adjusting to what the defense is giving him. They're using the running attack very effectively, and he's feeding off of that. And he's doing a good job with his pre-snap reads, seeing what they give him and then finding the matchup that's favorable and going to that matchup.
Stockton in motion on first down. Wide open is his receiver, Eric Rivers. There is a flag as he goes down the sideline. It'll be 75 yards for a touchdown if it stays.
I think it's going back. I think Rivers pushed off. It was obvious the official was right there. He saw it. That's why he was so open. It's going to be pass interference on Rivers.
Pass interference, offense, number 3. Henderson forced half the distance to the goal line, first down.
And the fans don't like it, but it's an obvious pass interference. You see Coach Key is kind of not liking it, but look at the bottom of your screen. You see Rivers right there, and he pushes off with that left hand just enough for the official to see it and make that call. I think if the defender doesn't fall down, they don't make that call, but because the defender fell down, it shows there was just enough of that push to create the separation that he needed to be as open as he was.
So instead, Eric Rivers got a 75-yard sprint for nothing. On first down, here's Philo towards the sideline, completes to Zion Taylor. Taylor will get 8 yards back.
And I like that throw right there because what Philo showed is an ability to get the ball over the defender's head, but where his receiver could make the catch and stay in bounds. So although it's not a huge play, to me it's a big play in the development of your quarterback.
And you're 1st and 22. You get 8 yards back. You give yourself a chance now.
Absolutely. You're putting yourselves in a manageable second down.
Philo. Open. Stockton. Sideline. The high school teammates connect.
And another
24-yard completion.
Another one of those precision throws right over the defender. He drops it in where it's an easy pitch and catch for his high school teammate. I love what I'm seeing from Philo. We talked about that rhythm. He didn't have it early, but you're starting to see him get into that rhythm, knowing where to go with the football and putting it where only his receiver can make a play on it.
Both tailbacks in the game. It's the handoff to Holsley. And Holsley able to pick up 9 yards.
This is such a difficult offense to decipher where the ball is. You've got jet sweep action coming. Then you've got to worry about them handing the ball off right here. But then he pivots and gives it to the back that's coming downhill with counter action coming from across the field with the guard and the tackle. There's so much eye candy for the defense to try to decipher.
Hand off to the up back, Holsley. He's got the first down, still on his feet, and he is down at the 38-yard line. A run of 8 yards.
And when you're deciphering all that eye candy, you've got 2 backs that are power backs in Holsley, and we hadn't talked about it. This guy was the Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year last year. So, you know, we talked to Coach Key, and one of the things he stressed to us is when they go in the portal, they find guys that are productive, not just guys that are 4- and 5-star, but that were productive at the collegiate level. And you see that in Holsley and some of the other guys that they've brought in to fill those voids.
Philo over the middle to the tight end, Harpering. And Harpering down to the 32. He gets 6. This might be the best drive of the game that we've seen from Georgia Tech. A sustained drive, you're mixing in runs with passes.
And they're not just wide open passes. They're passes where Philo's reading the defense, taking what the defense gives him.
Another run up the middle. This time it's Haynes who gets tripped up by Q Billingsley. He's got another first down.
And I feel you, big fella. You see Malachi Carney throwing his hands up because the big fella got up to the second level. Haynes, grab my shoulder pads and come with me, come with me, come with me. Big fellas, we don't get to the second and third levels often, so when we do, come on with us.
It's the handoff to Haynes. And we've got a flag in the backfield. And this will be coming back.
Holding offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty, first down.
You know, I feel bad for you, Forrest, because all you offensive linemen only get called out when there's a penalty. So it's the first time we've called Joe Fusel's name here today. And, you know, when you're playing, are you like, where's the love for me and my guys?
Well, that's why I had to give my big fella Malachi Carney some love on that play before, because he got out to that third level defender and was trying to make a block. But too often it is overlooked with some of the things that the offensive linemen do, but that's just a part of the dirty work of being an offensive lineman and getting down in there and playing with a square chin.
Dalen Gordon in the backfield for the first time today. Quick pass to Dean Patterson, and Patterson's got nowhere to go. He's going to lose 3 yards on that one.
And Antonio O'Berry's on that play again. He's made some plays throughout this afternoon, and when you look at Antonio and O'Berry, he's one of the more difficult guys to block on the edge. 6'6", so he's got long arms, and he plays it very well. He plays very smart football. He's been around the football all afternoon.
That was the first tackle for a loss of the game for Gardner-Webb. This pass is behind Zion Taylor. Now 3rd and 23 coming up here for Georgia Tech. And do you take this right now as try to get some chunk here and see if you can go for it on 4th?
Yeah, I think you go with the underneath route, see if your playmaker can get a playmaker the ball out in space and see if they can make a play for you.
Here's Gordon in space, but he gets tripped up nicely. Nigel Lucas on the tackle after a pickup of just 4. And right now Aaron Philo is looking over like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
And you're kind of in that no man's land middle area. You don't want to try and go for a long field goal, give up a block. And this is a good opportunity for your young quarterback to try and get the first down.
10th play of the drive here for Georgia Tech. 4th and 19.
And they're playing one deep safety.
Over the middle, Rivers. Rivers is going to come up short as he takes it down to the 20. Josiah Harris with the tackle, a pickup of 16, but a turnover on downs. 28-6, Georgia Tech on top. (28-6), Georgia Tech leading Gardner-Webb. This is the home opener for the Yellow Jackets. Cole Pennington in at quarterback to open up this third quarter. First drive of the quarter here for Gardner-Webb. Second drive of the game for Pennington. On first down, the handoff to Holmes. Quayshawn Holmes, did he lose the ball? Did he get stripped? Georgia Tech saying they have it. And they do.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Georgia Tech.
It goes from bad to worse right here You have to see. I wonder if a knee was down.
Knee was down,
right there.
yeah.
See, maybe we get a better look right here.
I think he's going to be down.
It's very difficult. Now they're going to take a look at this. And I think that's what Coach Reeser is seeing right now.
Rusty Acree, the replay official. The issue is going to be, is there a conclusive look that shows the knee down before the ball came loose?
Or will this call be upheld?
The ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Georgia Tech.
So that is the first turnover of the game for Gardner-Webb. They've got one. Georgia Tech has two. And now a great opportunity for the Yellow Jackets. Coach Reichert's like, what? How is that confirmed?
And they confirmed that very quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't think the shot that we had there was enough to be able to, overturn that call, change that. And like you said, it has to be conclusive. You have to be able to clearly see that his knee was down to overturn that call.
Now taken over at the 25 of Gardner-Webb. Philo hands off to Holsley. And he gets a yard. Javen Griffin on the tackle. Malachi Holsley now split out top of your screen. Empty backfield here for Philo. Quick pass to Zion Taylor. And Taylor tries to turn on the Jets. He'll take it up to the 19-yard line, get 5. Antonio O'Berry, another tackle. He had 7 last week in the victory at Western Carolina.
And the ability for him to get out in the open field and make that tackle is impressive. Once again, you're talking about a 6'6", 240-pound defensive end getting out in open space and making the tackle.
3rd and 4. Wonder if this is 2-down territory right now. Holsley tried to make a man miss. He could not.
One of the things that's been surprising is as good as some of these backs are for Georgia Tech, they're not breaking a lot of tackles. When the defenders get hands on them, they're able to bring them down.
James Oates able to bring him down on that last one, so now it's 4th and 2. This would be a huge stop by Gardner-Webb. Philo will keep it himself up the middle. He's got the first down and more. Philo inside the 5.
And as I say that, Philo breaks a couple of tackles to not only get the first down, but get the ball down on the 5-yard line. Looking like Haynes King on this play on the quarterback draw. It was a design QB draw. He read the linebackers, found the gap that they were not occupying, and got the first down. A good job by Philo knowing where to go with the football.
Now 1st and goal from the 5. Both tailbacks are in. It's the up back Holsley. Holsley to the end zone, touchdown. 2nd touchdown run of the game for Malachi Holsley. The 2 backs have combined for 4 rushing touchdowns on the day.
And a good job by the offensive line firing off. You see tandem blocks, guys getting up to 2nd-level defenders and allowing Holsley to get to the end zone for the touchdown. And that's what you want to see when you're on the goal line, when you're in short yardage. You want to fire off with flat backs. The low man will always win at the point of attack.
Extra point is good by Aiden Burr. Both teams now have a touchdown off a turnover in this game. Forced fumble leads to this, a 5-yard touchdown run by Malachi Holsley. 35-6, Tech on top. Anytime you speak to an offensive lineman and you ask them, do you want to run or pass? They always say run.
You definitely want to run the football because you show your tough guy mentality, and Georgia Tech has shown their tough guy mentality throughout this afternoon, running the ball very effectively with their two power backs in Malachi Hosley and Jamal Haynes, whether it be out in the open field showing their speed or being able to power it over in short yardage situations.
Under the offensive lineman in Brent Key, this is what the team has done. Oh, by the way, this year, already 7 rushing touchdowns. They had 3 last week, 4 already this week.
And they've already passed that average. Right now, they're at 205 yards rushing.
No return here. The running backs, they're making themselves their own room right there. The two backs, nearly 200 yards. Nearly 100 yards each.
And if you're Haynes, you're looking at that stat saying, okay, I got to get 8 more yards.
Well, Cole Pennington is back out at quarterback here for Gardner-Webb, now trailing 35-6. They trailed 35-7 last week.
And I'm wondering about that because Hampton looks healthy. He's on the sideline looking. This is the guy that was the player of the week last week. So what's going on here?
National player of the week. The pass is lobbed over nicely to Jabri Bevineau. And Bevineau's got the first down. I wonder if this is just, you're down 35-6. It's halfway through the third quarter. You need to throw the ball more than you run the ball.
I'm sorry. If I'm the national player of the week, I'm wondering and questioning why am I coming out the third series of the football game when we're in the football game. And I've done nothing, I think, to take me away. Now, we don't know what's going on internally. And like you said, that may have been a scripted game plan. And maybe Pennington is a better passing quarterback. But those are questions that have to be asked by us and by the fan base and by people that know that this young man won the National Player of the Week last week playing the quarterback position.
No doubt, second down in inches here. Pennington, low throw, saw a defender coming in, so threw it low for Quayshawn Holmes. 3rd and inches coming up. You know, it goes back to, again, that third series of the game when they went to Pennington as opposed to Hampton, predetermined. Sometimes you have a game plan. Throw that game plan out the window when you're leading.
Now, one of the things we did talk to the coaching staff about was his completion percentage. He was only 12 of 30 last week with those 263 yards, a 40% clip, which is not very strong. They wanted to improve that clip. And I think when you look at improving that, it's the passes that you put him in a position to throw. That low percentage was them trying to get back into a game. They were down 35-7, so you do have to take some chances and make some throws that you probably wouldn't if you weren't in that situation, but you have to still wonder.
That is an incomplete pass as Caleb Borders could not get a foot down. Second and 10, just about 5:45 to go here in the third. Pennington pressured. Pennington goes down, sacked by Amontre Bradford.
And that's on the right tackle, Will Fitzpatrick. You've got to do a better job of setting back in your hips. You've got to keep your shoulder square to the line of scrimmage. You can't open that outside shoulder. If you look at that play, Andrew 3, number 72, you've got to set back. You cannot open that outside shoulder and give up a short corner. He gave up a short corner to that defensive end, which allowed him to get to the quarterback level immediately.
4th sack of the game for Georgia Tech. Now it's 3rd and 16 for Pennington. Pennington's pass is complete to Chris Lofton. He's very close, going to come up about a yard shy of that first down marker. They got to go for it here.
And this is when you could use a quarterback like Nate Hampton, 6'6", 240 pounds. You get him up under center and run a quarterback sneak.
Oh for 1 on 4th down so far today. Gardner-Webb changed their personnel, so Georgia Tech gets the chance to change their personnel.
And you see the big fella right there, Jordan Vandenberg. I run away from him if I'm going to run the football. Find 99 and get as far away from him as possible.
Play clock down to 3. Handoff. They convert on 4th down. It's Holmes. Tay Harris with a tackle, but a pickup of 9 on 4th down. Nicely done.
And I want to give some love to Luke Rector, number 71. He does a good job on Vandenberg. You see right here, he stays on him, does a good job of staying in front of him and keeping contact, which allows for Holmes to find a seam and get up the field to get that first down.
Pennington over the middle, has his man open again, and Chris Lofton, who just gets tripped up, gets 8 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 2 coming up.
And a good job by Pennington getting rid of the football quickly, not allowing the pressure to get to him, finding the matchup that's favorable and getting the ball to his playmaker. Those underneath routes seem to be where they've had success, those underneath crossing routes.
Pennington forced out again, throws low for Anthony Lowe.
And you see right there, Anthony Lowe on the choice route. He had what he wanted, Pennington. He's just got to put a little bit more air under the football. Anthony Lowe decided to take that to the outside. If Pennington puts air under it, Anthony Lowe is able to get possession of that ball and possibly turn up the field to get the first down.
11th play of the drive coming up. Gardner-Webb going with both tailbacks in the game, Gressick and Holmes. It's Gressick up the middle, stays on his feet and dives across the 10 down to the 9-yard line.
This has been a very good sustained drive by Gardner-Webb. Good job once again by the offensive lineman. Tandem blocks getting up to the second level defenders, and you see Gressick with the balance.
They tried to go quick and they went too quickly.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You want to say his name or me?
I'll let you do it.
All right, it's Will Fitzpatrick, who you were just praising before. You know, I always feel so badly because people talk about prepping for a game, and it's not often you mention the offensive lineman because you're like, the only time I'm really calling out their name is for a penalty. And when it's a penalty, they tell you what number it is. Now I'm working with an offensive lineman, so I feel even worse about it. Gressick takes the handoff, and he'll get it back to the 9-yard line. Jason Moore on the stop. Second and goal from the 9. Pennington, a good drive right here. The only problem is you're down 35-6, taking a lot of time off the clock. Pressured again. Flag is thrown. He goes down. Sacked again by Amontre Bradford.
And that is on both tackles. As tackles, you've got to keep the width of the pocket.
Holding, offense, number 72. That penalty declined. It is on the play. Third down.
If you watch on this play, 72 just gets bull rushed back into the quarterback. You've got to be able to sit down. When you feel the bull rush, you've got to sit down in your hips and hunker down and punch and fight. You can't catch the contact. You've got to punch. When you talk about boxers, they don't sit there and wait for the punch. They move and they boom, 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 boom. That's what you've got to do as an offensive tackle. You've got to punch and keep those defenders off of you. And when you feel that bull rush, sit down in your stance.
Third and goal from the 18. Pressure coming again. Pennington goes down again. This time it's a Kilo Stone. Sixth sack of the game for this Georgia Tech defense.
And Pennington has got pressure from everywhere. You see right there, swim technique, Aaron McKeever. You've got to do a better job of keeping your head up in the block. You can't put your head down trying to make the block. You've got to see what you're hitting. He put his head down in the Kilo Stone, did an old school swim technique to swim right over him to get pressure immediately on the quarterback to get the sack.
A 45-yard field goal attempt for Charlie Villarreal. And that one is wide and short, no good. Bend, but don't break. Hang on a minute, we got a flag. We've got a flag on the field.
Offside, defense, number 3. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So now you'll make it a 40-yard field goal attempt.
And I would not want to be that player going over to talk to Coach Key. Another foolish penalty. Special teams mistakes. Coaches hate those, and that may result in stadiums and disciplinary run next week.
From 40, this one's blocked, recovered, going the other way. Maybe it was a good thing. Rivers, touchdown.
Now, if I'm the player that jumped off sides, I'm telling Coach Key, hey, Coach, I knew this was going to happen to Mari Harvey, so I decided to make the block. And you talk about an impact right here. This is what you look for. And why not block it to Rivers, one of the faster players on the team?
No, you were right. The double number got me. It was Amari Harvey who recovered it. He was the one who jumped offside. And so now that blocked field goal, recovery for a touchdown, and the extra point is good.
And that's what I'm telling Coach. Coach, I jumped off sides because I knew I had an opportunity to block it.
A 65-yard return, and there he is. Brent Key saying, you know what, son, you just redeemed yourself.
No sprints.
He's like, you just did a 65-yard sprint. You're good.
Absolutely.
In all honesty, I mean, Brent Key, he said one of the most profound things to us. He goes, I can take good news and bad news. I can't take surprises. And so he builds that trust with the players. And we'll talk more about that after this. They got the young ones dancing here at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, 42-6 with 36 seconds to go. Aiden Burr will kick off. It's 42 unanswered points by the Yellow Jackets. Fair catch signaled. It's Cole Pennington once again here. Going to be leading this team out as we've got a player down for Georgia Tech. It looks like it might be cramping. Chris Elko, I believe that's number 89. Chris Elko, a wide receiver, cramping up. Again, it's been a little bit of everything here with the weather today. When you arrived at the stadium, it was humid. And then all of a sudden, the rain was coming in. Rain stopped, sun out, humid once again, as Pennington is back in at quarterback. Pennington on first down. Nice catch by Anthony Lowe, going up, turning, and making the play. 14-yard completion.
And Anthony Lowe has been active throughout this afternoon. He's had some misses, but he's had some big catches for his offense.
Back shoulder throw, caught again by Lowe. That was beautiful, and a flag in the backfield.
And you see what Pennington saw on that play. He threw the ball before Lowe turned around and located. He saw the matchup that he liked and went with the back shoulder throw.
We might be tacking on some more yards here.
There's no foul on the play for roughing the passer. The result of the play is a first down.
I think the defender was pushed into the passer. But a good job by Pennington, looking to the outside, seeing the matchup that was favorable, and getting the back shoulder throw.
Anthony Lowe, 7 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown on the day. Pennington to the near side to Chris Lofton. He's got a first down. And that will end this third quarter. So Cole Pennington getting warmed up as he is getting time here in this second half at quarterback for Gardner-Webb.
College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
Seems like an awfully long time away as we are in week 2 of the college football season. Justin Kutcher alongside Forrest Connolly here in Atlanta at Bobby Dodd Stadium, getting set to start the fourth quarter. Gardner-Webb trailing 42-6. They led 6-0 in this game. Pennington looked like he got hit as he released that ball complete to Anthony Lowe.
And you know, Justin, we talked about it during the break. Pennington and how he's played when he's been in the game, you know, before that pass, 9 of 13, 111 yards compared to Hampton, 6 of 9, 45 yards. It sets up for maybe a quarterback controversy moving forward.
Pennington throws. That one's batted around, incomplete. It's pretty crazy to think about that. I wonder if it's not a quarterback controversy, do you have a situation where you're going to play both quarterbacks?
I would lean that way if Hampton had played more, but Hampton doesn't look like he's going to come back into the ball game. They've leaned on Pennington the majority of this game. Outside of the first quarter, we haven't seen a whole lot of Hampton.
3rd and 4.
And as I said, unless it's a disciplinary thing or an injury that we don't know about.
Adopte stays on his feet. Second effort. Man, that was quite the effort from Giovanni Adopte.
You've got to be impressed with this Gardner-Webb team. They're continuing to fight. And that's what you look for as a coaching staff. You know you're not going to win the football game, but I want to be able to look at film and see what guys are going to continue to compete and continue to get better.
1 for 2 on 4th downs. Snap it. They got it.
And that goes back to that discipline that Coach Key.
Offside, defense, number 22, undebated to the passer. That 5-yard penalty is also.
Think he jumped?
He did, and multiple players jumped, and you've got to know the down and distance and realize that they're going to go with the hard count. Those are situational instances that coaching staffs look at. Teachable moments, but also disciplinary moments and moments that can cost you a football game.
Now 1st and 10. Pennington to the end zone. Touchdown, Caleb Borders. 14 yards from Pennington to Borders.
And one thing I will say, Pennington knows where he wants to go with the football. He does a really good job of understanding what the defense is giving him. You see him, he knows what his pre-snap read is and where the opening is going to be. And you have to think, when your dad is Chad Pennington, you've been taught a whole lot about playing the quarterback position, and you see it with this young man. That's why I say it's a question moving forward about the quarterback position. It's a good question, I guess, to say.
Extra point is blocked. Going the other way. All the way. Will Kiker. What a wild game we've had. A blocked field goal return for a touchdown. Now you've got the blocked extra point returned here.
And Coach Reichert is not happy.
Now the officials are still talking about something here.
Did the ball hit the crossbar and bounce off the crossbar?
During the play, there was an inadvertent whistle. As a result, the try is unsuccessful.
Wow.
And that's got to be terrible for Kiker. He ran 100 yards.
Chris Reisert has made the move in this second half to go to Cole Pennington at the quarterback position, not Nate Hampton. It's now 42-12. Cole Pennington looks like his father, Chad Pennington. Just had that touchdown pass as Gardner-Webb will kick off. A high short kick fielded at the 32. This is by Harpering, and Harpering will take it out to the 37. The fans still booing as they did not like that return called back for an inadvertent whistle. They weren't the only ones who didn't like it. Brent Key was furious on the sideline during that break.
You remember the old movie Better Off Dead? Where he said, I want my $2. It's like this crowd is saying, I want my 2 points.
Yes. Philo on first down, taking that shot, underthrows the receiver Canyon, but Canyon comes back to make the play. 42 yards.
And Josiah Harris never turned around and located the football. But Philo, once again, seeing the matchup that's favorable, and when he sees the favorable matchup with this bigger receiver, he's able to deliver a ball where he can make a play on it for him.
Gordon in the backfield, spun around, down to the 17.
I think that's one of the things that's impressed me throughout this afternoon by Philo. Being able to use his pre-snap reads and identify where it's a favorable matchup for him and going to that matchup.
Now J.P. Powell in the backfield. Hand off to him. There are some times where you see a running back the way they take the handoff and cut, it's like they glide. And J.P. Powell, he's got that as a true freshman. On 3rd and 3. It's Powell again. This time he's going to lose a yard.
And he tripped over his own offensive lineman, Joe Fusil. But you saw the jump cut, and you talked about the way he glides when he gets the football in his hands. This kid has a bright future running the ball for this Georgia Tech program.
Aiden Burr on for the field goal from 32 yards. And a flag on the play. The officials know what's good for them. They don't say it's an inadvertent whistle.
Illegal formation, defense. Number 95 lined up over the center. That 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
So now both teams on special teams have costly penalties that give a first down.
You've got to know where the football is and make sure you're behind the ball. You cannot line up over the football. Those are just errors that you can't make.
Now it's 1st and goal from the 10. And off here to Shane Marshall, another true freshman, as Saban McLaughlin makes the tackle. Philo stepping up. He'll pick up a couple to the 5. Aaron Philo, the redshirt freshman, got word before the game today that he would get the start. Haynes King, that nagging lower body injury after a huge performance last week on the road at Colorado. Haynes King in uniform today, not playing. 3rd and goal from the 5. Empty backfield. Philo in trouble. Just tried to dump it off before he gets taken to the ground. He was looking for J.T. Byrne. Justin Eisler applying the pressure.
And a good job by the Gardner-Webb defense, forcing Georgia Tech to go for another field goal.
This time it's going to be a 23-yard field goal attempt. And from 23, it's got to be good. Michael, can't miss that. Aiden Burr makes it 45-12. The Yellow Jackets have a big game coming up next Saturday here at noon. The last time that Tech won against Clemson was back in 2014. Jamal Golden, a pick six of 85 yards. Chris Milton, who he was celebrating with in the end zone, a pick six of 62 yards. And they would go on to win 28-6. You see what Clemson has done. 9-game winning streak. The last time they met was 2023. But Clemson right now is in a world of trouble. In the third quarter, they are trailing Troy 16-3.
And you talked about 2 pick sixes in that game. They've thrown a pick six into game today against Troy. They've also given up a sack as well as 2 tackles for loss. So Troy's doing what they want to do defensively against that Clemson offense.
It's one of the reasons why I'm personally not a fan of preseason rankings. I'd like to see the first ranking come out after Halloween. Because in the portal, how do you know what any team is?
Well, now, yes, in the time, in the year of the portal, teams can rebuild. They can either get immensely better or immensely worse. And we've seen that. You know, I talked about Florida State earlier. Last year was not a good year in the portal for them. This year seems to be a good year in the portal for them. 2-3 years ago was a great year in the portal for them when they got, you know, Verse, and they got Braden Fisk out of the portal, as well as Wilson and Keon Coleman. So you just don't know. So I agree. Preseason rankings now have become obsolete because teams, you don't know what a team is going to be after portal season.
But Forrest, the big problem is people say it doesn't factor into a good win or a bad loss, but subconsciously it has to. You know, if you look at week 1, it was, you know, what happens to Alabama this year as a long completion here to Sean Brady of 29 yards. If Alabama goes on to have a bad season, was that still a good win for Florida State week 1?
I think for a team like Florida State that came off a 13-0 season to a 2-10 season, regardless of what Alabama does, it's a great win because they found out and learned how to win again. But, you know, I think you have to look at it as a whole from each team, and each team is very different. You know, it's just the portal just changes everything to me because you can build a team every year. And like we said, it can be a great team, but a great team can go to being a terrible team depending on who you're able to keep, who wants to go play at another program. I mean, it varies now.
I just don't think teams know who they are until at least 6 weeks into the season.
I would say at least 2 weeks.
Oh, I mean,
it may be 3.
Who are they playing the first 2 or 3 weeks? Well, you usually have one game that you play that's good.
Well, when you look at last week, I mean, we had
okay, Ohio State, Texas, great game. Clemson, LSU, great game. Beyond that, what were you thinking? Like, man, that's a big test early.
Well, I think when we see what Alabama does today, we saw what Texas was able to do today against San Jose
State. Not like a top-notch.
But then what happens if San Jose State goes undefeated the rest of the way? Miami, Notre Dame, another great game.
Pennington taking the shot down the sideline. There was some contact. Wow, no flag. It looked like there was some contact as Sean Brady had his legs swiped out from under him.
You see right here. I don't know if it was enough contact to make a call. I like the no call on that play. I think he swiped in front of his face, but he didn't get enough of him to make the call on that play.
Bailey Stockton is back to receive the punt. Jackson Dorr now on to punt. And the fair catch, it's muffed. We'll have to wait to see who they say has it. Bailey Stockton had it go off the shoulder pads. And it will be recovered by Georgia Tech. Stockton, he muffed the punt. He was able to recover it. Oh, that's going to be a horrible feeling. For Gardner-Webb, looks like they're going to go to 1-1 on the season next week. They play the Citadel at Ohio, Charleston Southern. All the games will be on ESPN Plus, part of the Ohio Valley Big South Football Association. On first down, Philo. In space to Jordan Allen. Jordan Allen, look at him go! Tackled down inside the 10, chased down by Jordan Jackson, 78 yards. The scouting report on Allen, elite speed and quickness. His first touch, 78 yards.
Well, he's a 10-300 guy, and you see the speed, but you know when they get to film on Monday, they're going to say, you run a 10-3. You should not be getting caught from behind. Great job by Jordan Jackson to run him down and prevent a touchdown.
Now first and goal from the 8. Powell. Oh, just got checked at the 1-yard line by Saban McLaughlin. That was a hit.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call grown man football right there. Boom! You got to keep your head on the swivel if you're Powell.
You know it's big when both guys go the opposite directions.
And the coaching staff talked about McLaughlin being a surprise contributor, kind of stepping up in camp. And you see right there, he welcomed the true freshman to college football.
Second and goal from the 1 to give into the deep back, spinning into the end zone for Shane Marshall, the true freshman. Actually, that was J.P. Howell on the carry. Also a true freshman. The extra point is good for Edinburgh. 596 total yards of offense for this Tech team.
And a good job by the offensive line, knocking white jerseys and white helmets back. Getting pushed at the point of attack, firing off with flatbacks, tandem blocks up to the second level defenders. That's what you're looking for from your offensive line down in short yardage and goal line situations. The first to make contact usually wins the battle.
When you were playing, if you're first and goal or second and goal from inside the 2 and they called a pass play, how ticked off were you as an offensive lineman?
Very angry. But at the end of the day, you want to get the score, but you're very angry because that's the opportunity to, you know, show your grown man toughness, your square chinness. You know, you want to be a tough guy, and you fight to get all the way down the field. Of course, you want to get a touchdown, but you want to blow somebody up, you know. and in those situations, the defensive line knows, you know, that you want to run the ball, and you know you want to run the ball, so it's mano-a-mano. And, you know, we had a drill in practice called a board drill, where you would get on one end of the board, and the defensive lineman would get on the other end of the board, and Coach Bowden would blow the whistle, and whoever got knocked off the board had to stay on that drill until you won.
Oh.
And so it was kind of like that board drill. And you wanted to blow that defender off the football and show your tough guyness. So, of course, you want to run the ball.
So take me back to Florida State. And Coach Bobby Bowden says, Forrest on the board. Who's he putting up against you?
Anybody. And that's the thing. It didn't matter how big you were, how small you were. We had a guy named John Nance played nose tackle. John was maybe 6'2", maybe 240, 250, played nose guard, our starting nose guard. But he would blow you up off the ball. You would have a headache every time you hit him. The director of player personnel at the University of Colorado right now, John Chaney. His last name Chaney, I forgot his name. We call him Duncanhead. But he's maybe 5'11", you know, 250. He was our starting nose guard. You know, he would knock you off the football. So it didn't matter, you know, when you're down in that trench, it's the low man wins. It doesn't matter how big you are. You've got to fire off with a flat back. You've got to stay low, and you've got to keep your feet moving. A lot of guys at the point of contact, they stop their feet moving. Mm-hmm. No, you've got to keep your feet moving. So that's what made us different. That's what makes some of these players we see now different. Think about Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah.
Teddy Bruschi's not the biggest guy in the world, but he played with a flat back. He'd fire off, and he'd knock your butt out. When he was at Arizona, people forget he was a down lineman. You know, this guy would knock your socks off because he played with a flat back. So that's what it doesn't matter, you know, how big you are. Can you fire off with a flat back? Can you keep your feet moving? Do you stop when you make contact? All of those things matter when you talk about being a great down lineman.
3rd and 7 here for Gardner-Webb. Pennington gets rid of it. We're going to have pass interference.
And it's James Chaney. I'm sorry about that, Duncanhead. I forgot your name. His nickname was Duncanhead, but I got to say his name, James Chaney, Director, Player Personnel out of Colorado.
But that's the best part.
Pass interference, defense, number 25. That penalty is enforced at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
The reason why I say that's the best part is because it's sports. It's just being around, you know, your teammates all the time. Sometimes you don't know somebody's real name. You just know their nickname.
And I'm so used to calling him his nickname,
right.
Duncanhead. So another guy, I'll tell you, if you go back and look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a guy I play with named Greg Spiders. Greg Spires, 6'2", maybe 240 at the linebacker. He got up to 260, but he was a wrecking ball for Tampa Bay.
Oh, a nice pass thrown right there. And they're going to say it's incomplete. Sean Brady unable to complete the catch. It's a beautiful throw.
And Pennington put it right on the money, and Brady, great job by the defense not giving up on that play. And the safety getting across to put a helmet on the football and knocking that loose.
What was your nickname in college?
Big Fo, B-I-G-F-O. Everybody had a nickname.
Yeah. On 2nd and 10, the handoff is to Christian Van. First time we've called his name today. All right, what was Charlie Ward's nickname? Heisman?
C. Ward. Basically, we just called him Charlie. You know, he was just one of those guys that was just
untouchable.
Yeah, like Ward Gunn, his nickname was Scat Man. Because he was just, a guy that could just do different things. From that scat, he revolutionized that position for us.
You're in a place right here in Atlanta where they love work done.
And you had guys that had special nicknames. We had a guy, his nickname was Toolbox. Ratchet Set.
Well, I always joke around, but my sophomore year in college, we had a suite with 5 of us living there, and one of them was a random freshman. We just called him Freshman. To this day, if I see him, I'm like, Freshman, what's up? I mean, you just can't not call him that.
First charge, timeout, Gardner-Webb, 30 seconds.
But you said it, that's what made college special and what makes it special. The nicknames that you get, they stay with you and stick with you forever. And
how about even when we were speaking with Brent Key, right? And the two guys that you mentioned this before, the only two coaches he's worked with since 1996 are George O'Leary and Nick Saban. I go, how often do you hear from them? It's Coach Saban once a week. Miss Terry I hear from more, right? And he's like, and Coach O'Leary, I hear from him like all the time.
Yeah, 3-4 times, and if I don't hear, and if I don't call him, he's calling me, hey man, you mad at me? But I had a conversation with Coach O'Leary his last year down at UCF. I got to call one of his games. Very interesting conversation piece. When he walks in and we're sitting in his office, he said, yeah, you guys are here to meet me. Okay, you got 10 minutes. And he meant that. So you've got to squeeze everything you need to in those 10 minutes. But they were 10 of the most entertaining minutes that I've ever had with a coach. So to talk to Coach Key, and he oozes Nick Saban and O'Leary, Coach O'Leary, when you talk to him. And like I said, for me, I understand everything that he's saying because he's truly an offensive lineman when he's talking and communicating. And so I get everything that he's saying, the energy that he brings. I love talking to him and being around him.
Well, Graham Knowles is now in at quarterback. Aaron Philo's day is done. Graham Knowles, he's just your typical 6'7", 230-pound quarterback. His dad was a professional tennis player, first play, and he finds Dean Patterson. He's racing down the sideline. Patterson still on his feet. He'll take it to the house. 84 yards. First pass from Graham Knowles.
And you see right here, there's nobody out there. There's a convoy. Great lead block by the offensive lineman to get out on the edge. E.C. Patterson, and Josiah Harris has an opportunity to try and push him out of bounds. It almost looked like he just ran out of gas on that play, trying to get across the field to get over to Dean Patterson. And you see Patterson able to push past him and get to the end zone for the long touchdown.
And the extra point is good. 59-12. You got to like that. Look at those quarterbacks. Graham Knowles from Austin, Texas, South Lake Carroll. He goes, that was easy. So what do I do? Just throw it like 4 yards and let my guy do the rest?
Absolutely. You see him picking up his guy like, thank you. I appreciate you, my guy.
Well, he has to. I mean, Patterson at 6'2" is still 5 inches shorter than Graham Knowles. Smiles all around, except for right there. And I was just thinking about that. How do you, when you're a perfectionist, like Brent Key, and you go, you know, you rally, you come back, you win 59-12. Do you come back on Monday and be like, I'm not happy with that?
Offensive line. It's just like an offensive line. If I don't win every battle, I don't care if we've won the game and we've blown them out. I'm thinking about the battles that I lost. I'm thinking about the pressure that I gave up. Yeah, I didn't give up a sack, but I gave up a pressure. And my quarterback expects not to be touched by the guy that I'm assigned to block. So that's the persona that you have when you look at Coach Key. He's thinking about next week. He's thinking about the mistakes and the errors that they've made and understanding we can't make those mistakes against Clemson University. Right. That's what he's thinking right now. He's not thinking about this game anymore. He's thinking about the mistakes and how can we clean that up. He's thinking about those 3 turnovers in those first 3 drives last week and how we were supposed to clean that up this week in the first 2 drives. He doesn't care that it's Philo and it's not Haynes King, his starter. He's thinking about the fact that we had 2 turnovers in our first 2 drives today. The same thing mirrored what we had last week that we were supposed to clean up.
Moyer wrapped up in the backfield. Kelvin Hill. It's funny, you were just saying he's already looking towards next week. You said towards Clemson. I was thinking he was looking towards Monday, like practice. You know, like, okay, what are we doing Monday in practice to clean this up?
But he's also thinking, too, if this were Clemson, how much would this have set us back?
Right.
Because you've also got to look at the competition that you're playing and knowing that you're stepping way up now in competition. And, you know, we talked earlier about the Clemson score. I don't know what the update of that score is right now. But, you know, Clemson probably was looking ahead. You know, even though they lost last week, this is a game that they were surely thinking they're going to win.
We are at the 2-minute timeout. There is no doubt the Yellow Jackets have indeed stung them 59-12. Don't forget Vanderbilt against Virginia Tech, Stanford, BYU, and then on Thursday, NC State and Wake Forest. 2 minutes to go in this one. Justin Kutcher alongside Forrest Connolly. And Georgia Tech offensively today. Again, 2 turnovers to start the game. Handoff is to Van. Nice run. After those 2 turnovers, the offense has totaled 680 yards. That is a school record.
Well, what's been impressive is they've shown the ability to have sustained drives. They've shown the ability to have chunk plays, whether it be in the passing game, whether it be in the running game. And then we've seen offensive linemen get down the field, make downfield key blocks. So we've seen a little bit of everything, and all of this with your backup quarterback. So that bodes well for this team moving forward. We know what Haynes King brings to the table, but he's had some issues with injury in the past. So this kind of allows them to understand that, you know, we want to keep Haynes King healthy. But if we do have to bring in our other quarterback, Aaron Philo, he can get the job done.
Offside, defense, number 15. And it's throwing at the snap. That 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
With all the offense and what they've done well, a penalty like that, we saw it on a roughing the kicker when it was 4th and 4. There are certain things that no doubt are going to keep Brent Key awake tonight.
Well, those are what we call disciplinary actions, meaning there will be disciplinary action taken for those actions that have taken place. Meaning you will look at possibly running some extra wind sprints.
And is it individuals or team?
A lot of times it's individual, but I think with Coach Key it's team. Because that's the concept that this team revolves around and has. It's about team. It's not about individual. You know, everybody's expected to do their 111, but we win as a whole. We, you know, discipline ourselves as a whole.
I'm with you. It's the only way that you build that, you know, continuity. Yeah, that camaraderie, exactly.
And you are held accountable by each other.
Yep.
So when you screw up, I'm going to look at you. You got to look down that line and see me looking at you, shaking my head like, yeah, man, we might get a couple extra licks on you tonight. Like, what are you doing? I mean, Fran Brown, the Syracuse coach, had his team run extra wind sprints after winning today. Although it was an overtime win against UConn, a tough opponent, he was not satisfied with what they brought to the table and the product that they put out there on the field, and he made them run wind sprints after the game.
A 59-12 victory for Georgia Tech. Didn't start out the way that Georgia Tech was hoping for, but much like last week, they responded. And they responded in a big way to start their season 2-0. For Forrest Connolly and our entire crew, I'm Justin Kutcher saying so long from Atlanta. More ACC football is on tap here tonight on College Football Week 2. You said, I'm still not over them. So when you start...